Welcome everybody, it's Harry Boxer, the Technicals Trader. It's Wednesday, January 12th. These are the charts of the day. Today we're going to look at some longs, look at some shorts as promised. And let's start with AFOP, one of our favorites of late. We've been high on this one since the 11-12 zone in early December. The stock's pushing a double now, up near 1960, closing at 1958, up $1.42 or nearly 8% today. Volume was the heaviest in about 6 sessions. And technicals are surging, so this stock may have still have some more upside momentum. Look for something around. Well, our target was 20 originally. I'm going to push that up towards 21, 22 zone. CCME had a big day today. China Media jumped to $1.22 or 7% on 2.5 million. Has the heaviest volume in about a month and breaking across resistance. The stock looks like at this point we're going to retest the November highs up around 21.75, 22. That's a short-term target. Beyond that, maybe the stock gets into the mid to high 20s, but we'll see. Up next is EEE, which had a big day today. And look at this move it's had, running from about 60 cents to $3 or quadrupling, quintupling in just in the last 6 sessions. Not advocating buying in here, especially since it's coming into a resistance zone. Stock could use a pullback retest, so keep your eye on whatever may come in terms of consolidations and retesting over the next week or two on that one. But still, a very, very strong thrust off the lows. FTK had a significant price breakout today, jumping 80 cents for 15% on 4.4 million. That's the heaviest volume in a week and a half, breaking out of this little wedge pattern. And at this point, looks like it's headed for 7.5. That's a trading target short term for FTK. IDT, significant day today, jumping 227 or 9% on 782,000. That's the biggest volume in about 5 weeks. Let's call it 4 weeks. In any case, this 3-week declining channel was broken today. The stock closed near the upper end of the range. I'm looking for, at this point, for a quick test up towards the 29.5, 30 zone. And if that's taken out, perhaps we see something in the mid-30s on a more intermediate basis. But that could be a lot quicker than we think. IGOI had a good day today, up 33 cents or 7%. You'll see that the top of the channel was taken out today, and the stock is accelerating as volume increases and technical surge. Perhaps a move towards the 5.75 target we had set on a swing trade may be due very shortly. IPCI, beautiful follow-through day today, getting up to 488. My target was 495 on the move yesterday as I issued a quick swing trade, and we got it nearly tagged today. Did back off to 451, still up 51 cents or 12.75%. Volume was even heavier than yesterday. That's significant. The heaviest volume day in about 9 months. You can see it's up against this major double top, so perhaps a pullback retest, but if it does break through, this thing could fly. Keep your eye on Intel Pharmaceuticals. LaCroix, big day after releasing earnings, up $1.15, 9.2%, 615,000 shares. The stock accelerated. Notice this little flag that's formed in here that we talked about last week. The stock has moved very nicely out of that level from about 11.25 up towards 14 today, tagging 13.94. Now that's up against the top of the channel lateral price resistance, so we could see a pullback here, but with momentum as strong as this one is, it wouldn't shock me to see it run up towards the 15-16 zone. NVDA has been a monster of late. They had a major announcement yesterday with that $1.5 billion payout over 5 years from Intel for the licensing deal, and Wall Street likes it. The stock's surging in the last week and a half from 15.5 up to 23.37 today. A 50% move in about 7 sessions. With momentum as strong as it is, wouldn't shock me to see it get to 27 in the next few days. OCZ also acting very well, up another 21 cents or 3% today, but you can see how it's spiked up towards the top of the channel. A little bit overbought, perhaps short term, may pull back to do some consolidating, but again, momentum strong on this one, and if it does spike up for a little bit further, we could see 8.5 on that one. PowerWave, PWAV, broke out of a little 4-day pennant today and popped 29 cents or 9% on 4 million shares. Stock looks like it may be headed towards 4.75. My trading target on that one. And SWIR had a significant day, breaking out of a 2-week flag, but volume spiked to 1.25 million and $1.53 gain or 10% today. That one also got up to the top of the short-term channel. Now, if it does accelerate and move higher, we could see a major move in the stock that takes it up towards the mid-20s at the top of the long-term channel. But we'll set a short-term trading target at 18 and then 21 before we see the top of the channel in any case. UCTT, big day today, popped and exploded out of this consolidation range, gaining $1.08 or 11.75% on more than 500,000 shares. Looking at that pattern, you'll see the 500,000 shares today was the biggest volume in 2.5 months. And at this point, with a major breakout, I wouldn't be shocked to see it run up towards 11.25 half zone, perhaps even as high as 12 at this level of price resistance over the next several sessions, potentially. That's the resistance zone up here. Initial target 11.25, secondary target at 12. Let's see if it is able to generate that kind of surge. WRES broke out today, jumping 34 cents or 11%, 1.7 million traded. That's the heaviest volume in almost 4 weeks. Yeah, for about 4 weeks, the top of the channel beckons, in my opinion, around 5.75. Secondary target 6.5. That's what we're looking for on Warren Resources. Now let's take a switch over to the box of shorts and see what's going on the short side in preparation for what may eventually be a rollover market. We'll see what happens. Anyway, stocks that act the worst in good phases usually are the ones that get crushed when the market does come down. You can see that this 2-month rising wedge pattern or bear flag, whatever you want to call it, stalled and failed right at the declining tops line from these two tops here, top of the channel. Trend lines across the bottom channel on a parallel pattern. I'm looking for a move to 44 or another 9.5, 10 points on the stock, particularly if the short-term support at these lows from the October lows are taken out and are testing them right now. Very key point for the stock. If it does break, you could see a very sharp one. Now, if we do get a snapback, resistance is 58.75. That would be a shorting opportunity, in my opinion. DORM, that certainly looks like a head and shoulders top to me. Left shoulder head, flat right shoulder, no volume, no technical surging whatsoever. If this thing breaks below that line, we can see the stock fall pretty rapidly down towards 25.6 zone. That's my trading target, and that's a big one on DORM. EC, very toppy looking pattern, although it was up $1 today. This long 2-month coil looks pretty bearish to me. I'm seeing no thrust in technicals at all, and if this thing does roll over here, it's going to come down hard. My trading targets are support at 38.80, 39. If that's broken, a quick dive into the mid-30s may be doable. ENOC, not very responsive to the market rally of late. It's just trudging along in this little bear flag. It's reached the declining tops line. The 50-day moving average, this is a key point for the stock. Either it breaks up or down. It favors a break to the downside. Some support around 23, 3.5. But a break from there, we can see 20 bucks in the stock. FSYS continues to look ugly to me. Here's your declining tops line at the channel top. Right there. You can see the stock's right up against it. The next trend line would be here. A break of this pattern to the downside should get us down towards 26.5. Ivan Homines. Big move this year. And now over the last couple of years, having moved from $1.50 to 25 and change. But at this point, maybe, just maybe, we're forming some sort of head and shoulders type topping pattern. Notice the lack of thrust in technicals. Any move here that fails and rolls over, and by the way, we're right at resistance in this zone here. Excuse me, a failure right there would call for a rollover, but this is also a key resistance level that, if broken to the upside, could result in a short covering thrust. So be careful on this one. But a takeout of, say, 22.90, 23 could accelerate to the downside. It would call for a measured move down towards the 17, 18 zone. SKX continues to look ugly and not respond to the market. We have stair-stepped higher, but in a very choppy, non-thrusting manner, kind of a corrective look. This pattern here represents, to me, a bear flag. And notice where we are. We're near the channel top and near the top of this entire pattern. So let's see if this is unable to make any further progress. The top of the channel right here, connecting these two tops, is right in this zone too. So kind of a critical area for SKX. If it does fail and roll over, it could come down hard, test the lows around 19. If that's taken out, we're looking for something around 16. THOR had a very bad day today, down 209 or 6.75% on 5.8 million shares. That's the biggest volume for a down day in the last couple months, and it could mean that the stock has reversed south again for a test of the 25 range. That's key support. That's what we're looking for. Below that, could get ugly into the low 20s. And lastly is TTM, Tata Motors, which after a big run, kind of topped in this area, came down, formed the bear flag, and took that out to the downside. Notice technicals even making lower lows here. Very bad sign in my opinion, even though it was up 89 cents today. And pulled back towards this zone here. Could represent a shorting opportunity around 28, 8.5, something like that. Keep your eye on TTM. That's it for tonight. Some longs, some shorts. Let's see what the market does. Good night.